How did you even start on a journey to making games?
The thing was that in our classroom, Roman and myself, we had a guy whose brother actually made the first game out of these areas, out of Croatia. We heard that he made some money, and then we, added two and two together. What if we could make a living out of making games? That would be just unbelievable. That's what we want, right? And that was a dream, and we are chasing it up today and far in the future.
Ever since?
Ever since.
So the name Serious Sam, who came up with it?
Actually, Roman came up with the name. Yeah, and I was actually in the military, right? And I actually heard over the phone, the guys called me and they decided that the game will be called Serious Sam.
What was your reaction?
I was like, okay.
I was like, dude, what? No, we are not doing Serious Sam. We are doing the game that actually had a name before that.
What was the name before Serious Sam?
In the Flesh.
In the Flesh?
Yeah, it was called In the Flesh, and it had a super great story that we were working on. One of the influencers at that time was definitely Half-Life. I mean, he was the one who first realized that we don't have this kind of team like Valve, even at that time. So let's just put something more simpler, just concentrate on the gameplay. As we progressed into that direction, it turns out to be much better and better. Much better than I was actually could anticipate,
Started to make sense.
Yeah.
Were you involved in the design of Sam in the early days?
The Sam, as it is today, was designed by Tomislav Pongrac. Sam, as it looks today, was actually a placeholder.
Really?
Yeah. So we should have something. We tell Tomislav, just design something, then we move on to better-looking Sam. Didn't went really, really well. How should I put it? The community just, in the mild words, they were not very pleased with the result.
What, with the new one?
The new one. So we just say, okay, scrap that one, go back with the original one and just improve the, geometry and the looks,
I know you've been busy in the last 9 years, but that's a long time to make people wait.
Apologies, guys.
Do you feel bad about that? Or?
Yes. I hope that we will make it worthwhile with the Sam 4. And this is something that had actually three different reasons why it didn't happen. The reason number one was Talos Principle. That happened by accident probably. We started working on key game mechanics and puzzles or reasons how to unlock the stuff in Serious Sam 4. We created a set of test levels. When we played those levels, they were really fun, but they were not for Sam. So we decided to make a game, and that became Talos Principle. So the big distraction number two was VR. It took us like a storm, right? Somehow the VR was very, very exciting possibilities. So
shiny new toys.
Shiny new toys, geeks, kids playing, and it took us by storm. And then the third thing was the technology, because we needed to push hard to invest a lot into upgrading the technology to the standards that are needed today.
The Talos gameplay was born out of ideas that were originally for Sam 4.
Yes.
Has the Talos principle then given you things that you've brought back into Sam 4?
After the experience with Talos Principles, when we had proper writers that made a really amazing story for Talos Principle, I think people will be surprised by sudden, really noticeable increase in quality of story writing, dialogues and everything in Serious Sam 4.
So this means we're going to learn a bit more of the lore of Sam's universe and the events and the characters within it, maybe?
Yes, for sure. People who just want action don't need to be afraid of it, because we learn with Talos Principle to put a story that is not in player's face. So
yeah, it's there if you want it.
I know it is a long time for our fans to wait for the new Serious Sam game, but it also allows us to properly think and rethink many of the features and to think about cool stuff that we could add to Serious Sam 4.